Okay, this is going to be part 3 into the MX110 pre-ride prep. Just got the front end off. Want to let everybody know it looks like they do actually grease steering stem bearings. There is some blue grease. Bearings aren't real packed, so I'm going to definitely pack them better. One thing I want to tell everybody, that the preload nut, it's like a spanner type wrench you need for this thing. You can put pliers on it and bung it all up, but luckily I had kind of a special tool from my automotive days that worked. Obviously doesn't need to be super tight anyways, but just letting you know, that's the preload nut. And that's the story on the front end, but at least there's some grease, so if you don't even feel like taking the front end apart, I guess you'll have a little bit of grease in there. Everything I was going to let everybody know is these are the parts, the loose parts that it comes with, that you have to put on basically the front fender number plate, bar, risers and clamp, foot pegs, shifter, and brake lever. I'm going to see obviously if they have like an aftermarket shifter I can get on this thing with a folding piece on it, and then here's the brake, foot brake assembly. Pegs look pretty decent actually, pretty wide. They're not like sharp or anything, but we'll have to see how those go. Might have to do something with those. And then there's a box. You got your gas cap and some miscellaneous fasteners and the insert, I think, for the spark arrestor or whatever. That won't be happening. They do send the stock battery that comes with it, and then it's got the fluid you have to actually pour into the battery, so it's kind of like an assembly deal in the battery. I might put a lithium battery in it anyways, and that's the other side plate. So it's just, that's the only stuff that really you have to install that comes loose, not on the bike, and other than just pulling the bike apart and greasing and Loctite and everything. So that's the deal. Other than that, just gonna be starting to pull everything apart. The muffler's kind of not a bad little looking unit actually. Just kind of haven't messed with too many things, but the bolts don't seem too bad. The caliper was on pretty tight, and bolts haven't snapped off yet, so that's kind of a good sign. But other than that, that's kind of the dealio on it. Let's see this filter. I'm gonna grab another couple filters from T-Bolt for it, and it doesn't feel like it really comes oiled, so definitely got to oil that thing up. Just kind of going over it. Plastic chain guide here doesn't look too bad. It's definitely no BBR deal, but you know, it's not $5 grand either. So that's it. So we'll keep working on it and get this thing running hopefully by tomorrow.